In today's breaking story, the Senate just launched an official investigation into JD Vance. That's right, more and more people are sick of the Trump administration, and the Trump administration is facing the consequences. How's it going, everybody? Hunter Avalone here with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now, as I was saying, America as a whole is tired of the Trump administration, and now people in DC are making that loud and clear.
The fascist takeover must be stopped! Troops on the corner, fence on the block!
Key news right now, protesters taking to the streets of Washington, D.C., upset about President Trump's federal takeover of police. Also new today, West Virginia announcing it has deployed up to 400 of its National Guard to aid in Trump's crackdown on crime. NBC's Gary Grumbach is in Washington for us. So, Gary, lots to get to. What are you hearing from protesters?
So we are walking now with protesters. They're going from DuPont Circle in Northwest D.C. down towards the White House. We're talking about hundreds and hundreds of D.C. residents who are angry of the federal takeover here in Washington, D.C. They're angry that there's federal agents. They're angry at the National Guard, and they believe the Metropolitan Police can handle this themselves. I want to take it out of the camera here and let my cameraman Tony just show you what we're looking at here. This is the very front of the protest. You see Trump must go now on the sign, and that's the sentiment that we're hearing from so many people, not just here at this protest, but across the week as we've talked to folks. Here's what some folks we talked to had to say.
I'm sorry to say I wasn't surprised. You know, it started in LA. It wasn't a shock that they were coming for us next. And that's the entire point of my sign. You know, they're telling lies about the crime rates. They're telling lies about my city, my hometown to justify their actions. And they will do that anywhere.
So I think it's absolutely ironic and disgustingly hilarious how, the crime is placed on us when really he's inciting more violence than I think any of us could.
Still, things could always get worse.
Go back to America and sort your own country out. Leave us alone.
He said that UK has no culture, but then he comes here for a 3-week-long holiday. Doesn't make any sense.
I'm not the biggest fan of how the police are being used for the past 3 days. Between here and Chalbury, you could drive past, I probably drove past 15 minimum police cars, and they'd set up policemen in little tents along fields.
The spread of where they've been positioned, I don't think it's been a massive impact. It's just visual. You can see police cars or American vehicles everywhere.
We've not left the town because of how bad the traffic is.
It's been a bit crazy. There's been a lot of police around, a lot of comings and goings, and a lot of fuss over somebody that we don't really want here anyway.
And now the Senate just launched an official investigation into JD Vance. That's right, take a look at today's top story. The White House is reeling tonight after the Senate officially launched an investigation into Vice President JD Vance, a probe that has President Trump's inner circle stunned and scrambling. At the center of the controversy is a birthday kayak trip Vance took earlier this month. Democratic Senator Adam Schiff is demanding answers about why the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers altered water levels at Cedar Creek Lake in Ohio to accommodate the vice president's outing. Schiff calls it a clear abuse of federal resources, describing the move as unjustified and frivolous. According to Schiff's letter, Secret Service officials ordered the river outflow adjusted on August 2nd so their motorboats and security craft could safely follow Vance during his 41st birthday celebration. The change pushed more water into the Little Miami River, where the Vance family was kayaking. Schiff now wants the Defense Department, the Army, and the Secret Service to explain why public resources were manipulated for what he calls personal benefit. The vice president's office insists he knew nothing about it. His spokesperson says the Secret Service often makes these kinds of operational decisions without informing the protectee. The Secret Service itself has confirmed that version of events, saying the decision was made solely to protect the vice president and had nothing to do with his office. But Schiff isn't backing down. He argues the move is part of a broader pattern in the Trump administration of exploiting public resources for political or personal gain. He even drew comparisons to the controversial release of California reservoir water, a decision critics said undermined firefighting efforts. The investigation is politically explosive. Schiff, who once led Trump's impeachment trials, is already under a Justice Department investigation of his own, something he calls politically motivated. Now he's putting Trump's hand-picked vice president directly in the crosshairs, demanding answers by early September. For now, the White House is keeping quiet publicly. But behind the scenes, sources say Trump's team is furious, worried that what was meant to be a harmless birthday celebration has now become a national scandal, threatening to overshadow the administration's political messaging and exposing Vice President Vance to weeks, if not months, of damaging headlines. Thanks so much for watching. Please click that like button and subscribe to Occupy Democrats so that you can stay informed and help us stop Donald Trump.